Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome back to this Deathworld Lazy Bastard run. So at this point we have gotten our nuclear power up, we've gotten quite a bit of just general infrastructure, and it's time. Folks, it is time for me to do something crazy, and that is we need to build a wall so that way the biters will not interrupt us, because I've noted that there comes a point where, yeah, it's great to go out into the death poison cloud and prevent enemies from coming to kill you, but in the meantime, like, you just can't deal with every single biter attack, and you don't want to lose critical infrastructure just because you couldn't stop them. Hey, by the way, this is only going to be really important in about 5 videos or so, but I do forget to limit this chest. So not if, but when you see all these substations completely full in this box, yeah, just know that it's a pretty bad moment. But we need the substations so that way we can build a little bit of solar. It felt pretty important to me to get some amount of solar up because there's only so much coal-driven power plant you can do before you start to really hammer your own coal abilities, like your coal production. Your patches are going to need to always be around so that way you can use plastic and some of these other materials. Like, coal is important for more than just power, and if you burn it all, you're not going to have more of it for later. So we do get ourselves up to the 20 boilers that one water pump can handle, and then we're going to try and do a lot more solar from here until we can get up to nuclear. This is as much coal-based, steam-driven plant as we are going to put together in this run. Now I am starting to get, again, some of the prerequisites. We started doing that a little bit more in the previous video, and we are doing that more now moving forward. Again, these are going to be the prerequisites for things like the purple and the yellow science. Very important. And finally, I'm getting into modules, critical, so that way you can save the actual science. Getting the very most out of your best buildings is important. I would submit to you that labs are one of the best uses for the production modules, and then maybe just a little bit right behind that is going to be the modules on your rocket silos. Okay, but folks, if we're going to build a wall, I don't want to build everything by hand. No, that's just not the Factorio way. So we are going to stick a big grid of these roboports out, and knowing that we've already got the bots now, we're going to let the bots build as much as possible. We're going to supply these with power in the future, but for now, as I slowly get additional roboports, that means that the area of construction is going to get bigger and bigger over time. So that's going to be step number 1. Let's get the general framework for the roboports up, and then I'll figure out from there what to do next. In fact, this decision here, as far as how big of a square or a rectangle I build my roboports in, is actually more or less going to inform how big of a wall I build. And I'm really eyeballing a lot of this, quite frankly. I don't typically build walls when I do my traditional playthroughs. I just don't. I don't want to. It limits you, and I don't know. I don't want to say that, like, if you're new, you tend to build more walls, but it's true. You tend to build more walls if you're newer. I've gotten to the point where I just go out and kill biters before they come and get me with the pollution cloud. But again, this is Deathworld, and that changes everything. A wall is great for this. So we're getting a couple of additional roboports. As you can tell, I have hundreds and hundreds of wall sections. You would think that I'm going to place all these down personally, but I'm really not. Trust me. I'm just gonna have these on for now. And here's what we're gonna do. Let's start building the wall at the very edge of our construction pattern. Orange is where your logistic bots will supply. The green little glowing thing, that's going to be the limit of where the bots will actually go. I lose my head here for a second and I make a stupid wall here. Whoops. That does happen every now and again. No. Yeah, we're going to make it all the way out to where we actually want it to go. And you can tell me what you think about the size of this wall. We can fit an awful lot of construction within these walls, so long as we get a really nice, robust defense system. There's no point in having a wall if you can't defend it. So we're going to be getting a little bit of gates, simply so that way we can adjust our trains. We've got right now 2 trains, one going to the nuke patch, one going to the iron ore patch to the east. We need to get a couple of the gates so that way there's no major weaknesses in the wall section. And then after that, we're going to need to start thinking about how we're going to defend these walls. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be a lot of flamethrower turrets. That's just going to be the way that it has to be. Now, I do back up my flamethrower turrets with the, what do you call them? With the gun turrets. And part of the reason is because gun turrets are quite a bit cheaper than flamethrower turrets. Flamethrower turrets are a bit more expensive, and biters will typically attack any kind of military sort of building first, whichever one is like right in front of them. So I try to put some gun turrets in front. Number one, they got a little bit of a shorter range unless they are of a higher quality than typical. And then also that means that it's going to be less costly, not if, but when I lose some amount of these gun turrets. I'm not going to build gun turrets super thick. And as you can tell, I'm not even building the flamethrowers super thick. I'm building them so that way there is coverage over every section of the wall, but not much deeper. Now, if I doubled the flamethrower turret ability here, like if I doubled the coverage, I think that you would potentially lose less gun turrets later. But this feels, I don't know, it feels okay to say there's going to be some attrition in this Deathworld run, and then that way I don't over invest in the wall. So we're still investing in the wall, but that way I'm not going to over invest in the wall. Now, the tricky thing here has been really getting the dimensions correct, because I don't want to be so close that the biters can just spit over the wall at me and again take out the flamethrower turrets. That's not what I want. But I also want to be close enough that I'm getting some good quality damage off before the big biters who are biting actually get into me. And so what I end up doing is I kind of base everything off of this nice little corner here, and I take that corner and I copy and paste it in the bottom left, and then I even copy and paste here with the distance to the wall, so that way from the right side to the left side is actually about right. Later on, after I do this, I'm going to need to go back to the bottom left corner, and I'm going to need to adjust to make sure that my flamethrower turrets actually line up pretty correctly. But it turns out pretty okay. Like, all things considered, the spacing turned out okay. And then once my spacing's correct, once I get that section happy in a nice little place, then I just need to make sure I got the actual turrets I need, and then make sure that we're supplying power. And then eventually we will get a full gun turret salvo ready to go. And it's going to be in something that I did in my very first playthrough, and that is get a lot of ammunition onto a belt. But that's going to be for another time and another day. At this point, we now officially have a wall. We do have still our good mining to the east. We've got some good defenses now at this point. No enemy is going to come and just start to bite us. And that feels not just good, but that feels great. And we're gonna actually survive this playthrough. So that's step number one, is just survive. And this playthrough was all about surviving. So folks, let's plan on seeing you in the next one. Until that time, take very good care of yourself. My name is Fix Fox, and I'm out. Bye now.